Welcome to a very special holiday episode. A quick warning that this episode contains major spoilers about Season 1. Good morning, Mrs. How's your day going so far?
Very well, thank you.
Wonderful, special expedited delivery for you. Here you are, Father Whelan. Got a couple of big packages here for you, special delivery from the mainland.
Oh boy, I've been waiting for these.
Hello, you two. How's the milk business going today?
Fuck off, we're hungover here.
I'll just leave these here for you then. Anybody home?
Who are you looking for, dear?
Oh, hello. These are for one Stormy Greenwood. Quite a stack of envelopes here for her.
She's moved away not long ago. Nobody lives in there now.
Ah, I see. We'll have to check if there's a forwarding address. Here we are. Stormy Greenwood, 3 Mercy Street, forward to 42B Tootingham Street, Mingsbite, LSM 2K5. Okay, it's time to take a little pause from the story. This is our very special holiday episode. It's been a few weeks since the season finale, and I'm very happy to say that there have been a number of new patrons. I'd like to say a big thank you to Constance Fly Sprayer, Mistress Ruthie Fly Sprayer, Anthropocene Milkman White Badge, Mia Melnick Fly Sprayer, Ashley Hecker, Department of Lactic Affairs Radio Clerk, Dean Martineau, Milkman White Badge, Nika Ivanova, Apprentice, Becky Retzer, Apprentice, Christian Odell, Apprentice, Aaron Miller, Fly Sprayer, Marianne Reitner, Dola, Regional Manager, congratulations. John Stout, Fly Sprayer, Eric Frost, Apprentice, Michael Stasic, Milkman White Badge, Only Features, Milkman White Badge, Cecilia Azaredo, Milkman White Badge, Adam Smith, Milkman White Badge, Jenner, Fly Sprayer, and Tracy Tolf, Fly Sprayer. Also, come check out our new and improved Discord server, courtesy of Mr. F. You can find an invite on Twitter or on the website howiemilkman.com. Thank you all very much for your support. It's what makes doing this show worthwhile. Season 2 should begin in late January or early February. And with that, let's get back to the story. Here you go, quite a backlog, mostly from the patent office I see. This one's got no return address on it.
My dear Stormy, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get a letter through until now. I can imagine that it must have been very difficult for you after that night, but I wanted to let you know that I'm safe. I've made a request for you to join me, but permission was denied because you are no longer a minor. You should by now have received the first of the royalty checks. We have here, of course, secret channels to the patent office and to the major banks, both in Towlaw and abroad. You will continue to receive royalties from all my past inventions until they become public domain, but that will not occur for many decades in some cases, and as you shall see, you will have enough to live comfortably on in St. Gaff's if you're careful with your money. My little girl, I'm so very sorry to say that we will probably never see each other again, but I am consoled somewhat by the knowledge that my trifling inventions will provide a means of support for you in my absence. As you can see from the postage stamps, this letter was sent from Zamaluk, and likely took several weeks to get to you, maybe even more. Elkhorn, as you may know, allows no communication, personal or otherwise, with Towlaw or Wayland, preferring instead to conduct its trade overseas. I was able to convince one of our mariners to send this letter to you from abroad. If you're reading this, you must still have the decoder ring I gave you many years ago and told you never to lose. But you're probably wondering what exactly happened that night. After Howie deposited that radio with me, and considering the state he was in when he did so, I began to wonder if perhaps he was being manipulated somehow by the milkmen. I know you were very fond of him, Stormy, but as I've tried to tell you before, I worry that he may be lacking in moral fiber. I'd been making a nuisance of myself to the milkmen, and it occurred to me that Howie might have left the radio with me after being pressured to do so by his superiors. Please do not take offense, but I doubt very much that Howie could have devised such a scheme on his own. Once again, I know your feelings for him, and I understand the allure of a worldly ruffian from the big city. But I do hope that you will one day find a man with a better head on his shoulders, and I venture to add, a firmer understanding of personal hygiene. I will not relate the events surrounding our arrest or subsequent escape. Suffice it to say, the personal defense undergarments I'd been working on, and which we had time to slip on before the milkman arrived, proved successful, as did the small canister of oxygen and the breathing mask I'd been working on for Dr. Barrett. I have since developed it into the Greenwood Underwater Breathing Apparatus, or GUBA, as I like to call it. This is my first contribution to my new home in Elkhorn. In any case, I was not badly hurt by the policeman's bullets, and with the weight of my metal-infused shirt, I was able to stay beneath the waves, put on my mask, and breathe underwater long enough to swim to the far end of the harbor. I pulled myself out and was able to remain concealed until I arrived at the gas filling station on the edge of town. In the distance, I heard the commotion and eventually saw the geyser, which you may or may not know has in fact altered the color of the stars around the globe. In Elkhorn, we are in more regular communication with the most distant lands than we are with our own continental neighbors, and every returning ship brought word of the newly green stars. You may recall, almost a year ago, we went north to Skaw to visit your aunt after your other aunt passed away. You may also remember that while we were there, I went on a long walk by myself. I had planned to meet with a representative from Elkhorn, and I met him during this walk. He gave me instructions, and we discussed the possibility of me eventually immigrating. In any event, after sneaking into the filling station, warming up, drying off, and helping myself to a few snacks, which it goes without saying I duly paid for afterwards, I made my way on foot to Skaw. Your aunt, my sister-in-law, welcomed me and allowed me to stay and recuperate for several days. She is not doing well since my sister's death. Perhaps you could take the time to visit her now and again, as I'm sure that seeing you would brighten her spirits. I will not bore you with the details of my journey, how I was able to transmit my intention to flee to Elkhorn, the vessel that took me across the channel, the network of safe houses that led me north across the lines of battle into Wayland's northern wastes, and my eventually arrival at a barn that housed, to my astonishment, an underground train station, and then the journey on board the train that lasted 2 nights and a day. The train, of course, does not run very deep beneath the ground and was built mainly to traverse the mountains that surround Elkhorn and cut it off from the rest of the continent. I must admit that over the course of my flight, I was in a state of constant and extreme trepidation. My guide, a brilliant young fellow, assured me that this was a well-worn path and that I had nothing to worry about. But I saw milkmen and police in every shadow. I do not believe that I ever slept so well as I did on that underground train. I will relate to you my astonishment at first arriving in Elkhorn. From the train station on the other side of the mountains, there was a sort of motorized taxi boat that carried us through the canals of the lagoon. The stories we've all heard are true. About the enormous 12-story buildings jutting up out of the water, I myself now occupy a very spacious apartment on the 11th floor of one of these. There is plenty of light from the tall windows for my workshop, and the upper part of the windows are ringed with Meredith stained glass, the stuff that Elkhorn is so justly famous for. Despite the suddenness with which I was forced to make this journey, and my sadness at not being able to see you, I am immensely proud to finally be an official citizen of Elkhorn. I am part of a tradition 800 years long of engineers who decided to leave behind the inanities of life in the rest of the world and focus on their craft. As I said above, I was able to convince a sailor here to send this letter, but doing so was a violation of the laws here, which are, as you have probably heard, very strict. I do not know if or when I will be able to write again. As I write this, the sun is setting, and one by one the newly green stars are coming out. Once again, I'm sorry that I was not able to write sooner, and that you probably feared the worst for me, but know that I am safe and comfortable, and that I am able to work on my projects with resources I'd previously only dreamed of. Please know that I am doing well, and that I trust you will be making good decisions about your future. You have a good head on your shoulders and a good heart. Trust them both. Your loving father. 14 checks from the patent office and a bunch of gobbledygook. I guess this one can go right in the stove.